You get one.
Who has a source saying that the Virginia player that tested positive played in Thursday's game against Syracuse. So, you know, if this thing is spreading around the Greensboro Coliseum where the ACC tournament is being played, we're going to have a situation where the entire ACC got exposed. And this is obviously one of the more dire scenarios that could play itself out. But, you know, what if the tournament's supposed to start a week from today? March Madness starts a week from today. And is Virginia going to be cleared in time? They're supposed to be a 4 seed. Is there any other teams that are going to have positive tests? I don't know. I'm just concerned, and I think back to a year ago, and you know, we were just talking yesterday, the 1 year mark of this whole thing, and I talked myself out of Duke spreading it yesterday because I'm like, okay, Duke won, which means they probably didn't leave their locker room, which means no team, you know, moved into the same locker room. So hopefully that's just, and then we find out that Virginia has a positive. They could be completely unrelated. They could be two isolated cases, you know, from one kid from Virginia, one kid from Duke, and it might be no big deal. But I guess if I were running the ACC, I would be questioning, all right, let's make sure this isn't spreading from team to team inside this building in any way. Because, you know, they might be wise if they take a look at it and go, we scrap this conference tournament, send everybody home, and make sure we have our teams okay for the big games. I just want to think about the conference tournament's worth continuing if we've had 2 teams test positive and you're not sure if they brought it from the outside or it's spreading.
Well, as it is, I guess there's the finals are scheduled for tomorrow night in the ACC, right? If I'm not mistaken, they're tomorrow night in Georgia Tech because they were supposed to play Virginia.
Yeah.
They advanced to the finals. So I'm just looking at the latest bracketology on ESPN, and I think there are 4 teams, maybe, that 4 or 5 teams from the ACC that could be affected by this that are in right now. But we'll see. I mean, I think we all knew this was a possibility. Is it going to wreck the NCAA tournament? I don't think it could. I don't think it will. It may wreck it for ACC teams, but outside of Virginia, the other teams in the ACC aren't, you know, really expected to go that far. They're not high seeds.
No, but, you know, it's...
But you're talking about ruining the event, and I don't know if, you know, COVID's already kind of ruined it anyway because it's been kind of a weird year. I mean, hey, Duke, weird year, right? So I don't know. I don't have great expectations for the tournament to begin with. So I think they're still going to play it, but if this just means that, hey, teams in the ACC may not be able to, there's still plenty of time to test players and see what happens. I mean, you need to have, how many players do you need on your roster to compete? If I did see a game with Alabama a couple of years ago, they're playing with 3 guys on the floor or something.
If you were in charge of the ACC, what would you be considering?
I would cancel the ACC tournament in a heartbeat. I would stop it right now because you've got, okay, hey, great, Georgia Tech and whoever else is going to be, hey, we're done. We're done because we need to, we want to ensure the safety of our players right now, and hopefully we won't have any more positive cases, which means that we can be all set for the next stage, which is really the one that matters, and that's the big dance.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's just something to keep an eye on.
What would you do?
I'd probably cancel it. I would really try and figure out if best they could, you know, what contact there had been. But yeah, I'd probably cancel it. These things are really, these conference tournaments they're fun. They're fun, but they're relatively meaningless. And you know, I've always said that. I've talked about it, my experiences with conference tournaments. How in the moment they seem like a huge deal, and then by the end of the weekend, they're nobody even by Monday when you hit the air, nobody's talking about it because the brackets came out. But anyway, it's just something to keep an eye on. See if it's an issue. I hope it's not indicative of bad news to come. All right, so look.
Well, here's one thing. I'm sorry. I wonder if other conferences will shut things down and just say, you know what, preventative.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. We're just gonna, like the Big Ten conference, were to say, we're going to shut down the Big Ten tournament because we want our teams to be ready for the NCAA tournament. Okay, fine. Because everybody can quarantine and we and stay isolated because the tournament, it's going to be in Indianapolis anyway, right?
Yep.
Let's stay in our hotels for the next week to 10 days, whatever it's going to be, and do what you got to do. But it's easier said than done because they are still student athletes.
I probably wouldn't do that without a positive test, but the moment you get it's certainly something right. I imagine these are conversations going on with every conference commission, like how to handle this. Hey, what's going on in the ACC, and do we react to it?
From a competitive standpoint, if you're Michigan or you're Illinois, and you're looking at a 1 seed, likely, in the NCAA tournament, like barring something crazy to happen, like if they were to lose today, for instance, you could make the argument, let's just forget it. We don't need to go to the Big Ten tournament. We got our seeding set. Why are we going to risk injuries, actual injuries? Why would we risk COVID? Let's just wait for the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, again, conversations that are probably I would think that you would carry on both the Big Ten and both those teams that have great seedings locked up. But I would also think that, hey, let's just have these conversations, make sure we're not making a bad decision here. But all right, look, a couple announcements. First of all, Piston tickets to give away. We are going to have a Carson Anderson quiz question today at 1:40. I'm going to surprise you as to when you can win. It's today at 1:40, and the way you win them is just to answer a quiz question about something said on the show. Like an example would be, what was Doug worried about to open the show? And that would be Virginia's positive COVID test and what it means for March Madness. That's an example. If you have the correct answer, you can win a 4-pack to see the Pistons take on Atlanta on April 26th. That's the first caller with the correct answer. With the gathering restrictions eased, there are a number of single-game tickets on sale. For ticket information, visit Pistons.com or call 313-PISTONS. Win a 4-pack today at 1:40. So stay tuned to the show and find out how to answer the Carson Anderson quiz question today at 1:40. Something said between now and then will be the answer. Meanwhile, we have the ticket signing bonus again today. Keywords at 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, and 1:30 for your chance to win $1,000. You got to text that keyword to 72881. That's 72881. That is where you text the keyword. And if indeed you have your name is drawn, you'll win $1,000. So that's 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, and 1:30. So lots of giveaways today. You're on Carson Anderson. 248-539-9797. All right, lots to get into, including other breaking news in the NFL. And as always, just a minute back to how does this impact us? Michigan State, the Spartans lose yesterday while we were on the air. Question is, what is that team ceiling? There's some good stuff happening in the midst of a lot of other stuff that isn't quite as good. But we'll get into that coming up a little bit later on here this first hour. 248-539-9797. Carson Anderson on a Friday. You're on 97.1 The Ticket. Hey, you want to improve your health? Then start with clean, healthy, and purified water from CGC Water. I start every day by filling this big container I got with the purified water from our Connecticut system. It makes me feel good knowing I'm enjoying the benefits of Connecticut system of filtered water installed by CGC. It's like right there, you get the best of bottled water right out of your tap. CGC follows strict CDC guidelines when visiting your home. You'll feel better knowing you're using cleaner, safer, and purified water from CGC. It just tastes better. This month, get $1,000 off the K5 reverse osmosis system when you purchase a Connecticut Premier Softener. It's the one we have, and we love it. Financing available with approved credit. Call CGC at 855-339-4242. Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of the contaminants. And remember this, if you're not filtering your water, your body becomes the filter. Get $1,000 off the K5 reverse osmosis system when you purchase a Connecticut Premier Softener. Connecticut features Premier Softeners, not electric twin tanks that are super efficient and use less salt. Tell them about Carson Extension. Call 855-339-4242 or visit cgcwater.com. Your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Add a little excitement to your sports watching experience by betting on all the action on FanDuel. There's a reason why FanDuel is America's #1 sports book. It's an easy-to-use app. It's easy to register, make a deposit, and quickly find your bet. And when you win, they're going to get you your money in as little as 24 hours. Right now, FanDuel is letting you place your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Just place a bet on any game, and FanDuel will refund you up to $1,000 back if you don't win your first bet. There's no strings attached. Just place any bet you want. If you win, you keep the cash. If you lose, they're going to get you your entire bet up to $1,000 back in site credit. If you've never tried FanDuel Sportsbook, what are you waiting for? Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app to get started and be sure to sign up with promo code Jansen so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook promo code Jansen. Must be 21 or over and present in Michigan. First online real money wager only. Site credit is non-withdrawable and expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problems? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help.
2 chocolate chip muffins coming in. Thank you.
Indeed knows unexpected growth can stretch your business thin.
Hey, can someone get that?
Like at Claire's Cafe. To satisfy demand for takeout, she needs to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey everyone, it's CJ McCullum, host of the Pull Up Podcast. Whether it's after a tough game or practice, there's nothing better than a nice hot shower to get you feeling your best. And the crucial part of that process is the body wash you use. The new Dove Men plant-based body wash is different because it uses plant-based cleansers and moisturizers. It's clean, it's fresh, and it leaves your skin feeling healthy and hydrated. Relax your body and mind. Shower with the new Dove Men plant-based body wash.
Experience the Dove Men Plus Care plant-based line for yourself. Buy it now at Walmart and Target.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facility safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. Call Hall Financial and get pre-approved for your new home today. We're even going to connect you with a top realtor in your area. At Hall Financial, our goal is to get you into your new home as quick and as easy as possible. Get started now. Go to davidhallmortgage.com.
Let your voice be heard. Call the D Las Vegas 97.1 The Ticket studio line at 248-539-9797. The D Las Vegas, the home for Detroit sports in Vegas. The Detroit Red Wings host the Carolina Hurricanes. Pre-game Sunday at 4:45 on 97.1 The Ticket.
All right, Gator. The accusations are what they are. People texting in that, here you go, from Mike and Williamson, Doug is always worst case. Stop panicking, for Christ's sake. Look, I'm not quite sure how to approach this. I would think, Gator, that March Madness is it's something that sports fans are just looking forward to in a big way. After missing out on the tournament last year, which was a devastating blow at the time, and one of those, you got to be kidding me, kind of things. We're not going to have the tournament. There's no indication that this is other than two teams in the ACC. But, to have those two teams, have back-to-back days with positive COVID tests, I'm just going to say, I bet conference commissioners are talking about, wait a sec, what do we do here? Especially the ACC commissioner. And is it panicking to talk about, could this impact March Madness? I'm sorry, I don't know how else to say it other than I think sports fans were very much looking to college football and enjoyed it, very much looking to the NFL and enjoyed it. And whether you are or you aren't a college basketball fan, March Madness is one of the most popular sporting events in the country, and we all can use the distraction, and it looks like things are getting better, and this could be the beginning of a huge story, but I don't know what's going to happen next. Nobody knows what's going to happen next.
Right, but they do have protocols in place for what's supposed to happen. The NCAA does. Reading a story from ESPN, Dan Gavitt, NCAA Senior Vice President of Men's Basketball, also said that a team just needs 5 healthy players to play in the NCAA tournament games. If Virginia doesn't have widespread COVID-19 outbreaks and the rest of the team continues to test negative, the Cavs should be able to play in the NCAA tournament. So, there's going to be adjustments without a doubt. There are going to be players that will not be able to play without a doubt. But I don't think it's going to jeopardize the tournament. Now, it may not make the tournament as good, but I don't think the tournament was going to be as good anyway. It's a tournament played in the COVID year. So I'm not looking at this like, oh crap, look what's happening. I'm just looking at, well, it's just a continuation of what we're already seeing this whole season. At least we're going to have a tournament.
Yeah, I'm getting nervous about the big dance. Vaccinate all the players and coaches in all sports. That's from Sir Don. I don't know that's justifiable. Yeah, no kidding.
It takes a month between shots, so.
Why not take?
Although technically, I guess, well, I think the tournament's okay, but yeah.
Why not take a week to try and buckle down on any COVID stuff so we can have a proper NCAA tournament? That's from Ray. They might. I mean, look, this might be nothing. This might be just Duke and Virginia, and nothing more than that. But if it's spreading, can they bump everything back a week? Is this Duke's way of saying if we can't go to the NCAA, no one from the ACC is going? Well, they should finish all the conference championships, but then have a 2-week pause before the big dance. Why rush it next week if cases are going up? That's from Steven.
Well, I mean, part of what I've mentioned last segment is they are still student athletes. I think we always forget that. Because it's our entertainment to watch them play basketball, but they are still students. You know, they've got other commitments that they've got to honor as well.
If you're just joining us, breaking news this morning. After yesterday's news that Duke had a positive case and they're pulling out of the ACC tournament. Now Virginia has a positive case and they are pulling out of the NCAA tournament. Typical Sparty mentality, their team sucks, so the tournament means nothing. It's a joke. That's from an unnamed texter.
I didn't say the tournament means nothing. Did I say that? Did I say that? Anybody? Just that person? That's the interpretation? I said it's a different year. It's a different tournament, man. Accept it. It is what it is.
248-539-9797. Ticket text to the same number. All right, so the other big news this morning, the breaking news this morning, was Cam Newton is either signing or close to signing a 1-year, $14 million contract with the New England Patriots. So as we always do, spin it local. How does that impact us? How does that impact us here in Detroit? Well, does it take New England out of the quarterback hunt in the draft? Or at least influence their sense of urgency to move up with a team that might be looking to trade down? Is there any impact on the quarterback market with the news that Cam Newton is on the brink of signing a 1-year deal in New England?
Doug, I am going to look at this and say, this is great news for the Lions. It's great news for the Lions because it's a 1-year deal, Cam Newton going to New England. I think that it's not a stretch to think that New England is absolutely looking to draft a quarterback, and they're concerned that their guy won't be there at 15. When you're bringing in a guy like Cam Newton, who has a skill set of the modern quarterback, he's one of those, I'm not saying he's a pioneer, but he's one of the guys that had great results as being a mobile quarterback, and you're looking at perhaps a Justin Fields or a Trey Lance. If you're interested in those quarterbacks, is that kind of what Cam Newton's skill set was? He still has it, but maybe not as much. So could he be a mentor for that 1 year that you draft a guy like that? I'll look at it as a positive and say, yeah, New England's looking at Trey Lance, and if they want to get Trey Lance, they got to come up to number 7 to get him. Come on.
It could be. I mean, it'd be the fact that it's only a 1-year contract, says that Cam's not the long-term solution there.
Right.
And I mean, if I were to put myself in the Patriots' shoes, would I still be thinking quarterback at 7? Or quarterback at 15? Sorry, I'm giving them the Lions pick already. Would I still be my concern is they'll let the draft play out and not be quite as urgent to move on. They'll be like, okay, we'll see who's there for us at 15. Maybe we'll take a second-round guy, or maybe we'll wait till next year to do it. And I don't know. I don't know, what their priorities are necessarily, but I don't think it rules it out. I just wonder if it has them tapping the brakes on the sense of urgency, maybe just a little bit.
No, I mean, you can look at it a bunch of different ways. I'm going to look at it as that way. Yes, it's a 1-year deal. They're looking for the next quarterback. And, hey, why not look at a quarterback who this quarterback currently you just signed can help mentor in the same mold. Let's do it. Let's go for it. Now, I haven't seen, at last check, I did not notice that Bill Belichick was one of the people scheduled to watch Trey Lance's pro day today, like there have been plenty of other GMs and coaches that are already attached to that, including Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes will be in his pro day today. But perhaps he is. If he is, maybe it gives you more insight.
Yeah. 248-539-9797. Ticket text. Did we have breaking news on another NFL quarterback? I can't find it, King. I'm sorry, but you got it?
Oh, yeah. You guys may have heard of this guy. His name is Thomas Brady. Tom Brady. I guess he's pretty good. Adam Schefter reporting him and Buccaneers have come to a 4-year extension. That's right. You heard me correctly. A 4-year extension. It is essentially a 1-year deal every year. It couldn't be voided. So, but yeah, he's coming back for sure. If he starts the 2022 season, he's going to be 45 years old. And remember, he said a few years ago he could envision himself playing quarterback in the NFL at 45 years of age. He might do this, guys. And it sounds crazy to even ask this, but I'm asking anyways. Does he finish out this contract?
No. Come on. The reason I say no quickly to that is because I think there was some noise earlier this week or over the weekend about Giselle, his wife, who was really kind of thinking, what more do you have to accomplish at this point? And this years ago, she said, you're done, right? And he's not. And so after this Super Bowl win, she's like, what more do you have to accomplish? She is pushing hard for him to retire. So I don't think it's going to live out the 4 years. I think, look, doing a 4-year extension, it's exactly that. Avoidable years, so you can spread out whatever signing bonus there is to make an easier cap hit so they can bring in some free agents that they need to have another kick at the can this upcoming season.
I got to tell you, it's one of the funniest things. I mean,
Yeah, sure, Tom Brady. 4-year extension.
People laughed when he said 45, Gator. They were quick to say, no way.
Right?
I mean,
Right.
and so, by the way, this extension saves the Buccaneers $19 million on the cap this year.
of course it does. I mean, Tom Brady is Tom
That's
Brady.
why.
Like,
The only thing that's going to make this guy retire, it's not age. It's he's got to lose. Because these guys, everyone's like, oh, why wouldn't you want to go out on top? These great ones, the GOATs, look at Jordan, Brady, they don't go out on top. They go out when it's too late because when they physically can't do it anymore. He just won the Super Bowl. Why, in his mind, he's like, why should I quit now? I'm still good. I'm still winning.
This contract, if he plays it out, expires when he's 48. He's 48 years old. He will play next year as a 44-year-old NFL quarterback. I mean, this is insane and funny. And of course, there's no way he's going to finish it. Although part of me goes, what's going to force him to retire? When he dies at 75. Like, what are we talking about here?
Well, maybe really what he's chasing is George Blanda. George Blanda, the old quarterback, played through his 48.
Right.
So is he chasing that?
He might be chasing that.
I'll tell you what, I am not eating the ends of my bananas anymore.
All right, no more strawberries for me.
Seriously.
This guy's got the fountain of youth.
And I just got to find a supermodel wife. Oh, I have.
Look at that.
I got to tape this and send it.
Talk about trying to curry some favor. This guy. Hey, stay tuned. Keyword coming up next. Chance to win $1,000. Text it to 72881. That is straight ahead. 97.1 The Ticket. Hey, it's Doug Karsh from Tropical Smoothie Cafe. They're celebrating Mardi Gras, and you can get their new Hurricane Smoothie. It's the life of Mardi Gras. Imagine yourself dancing through the streets of Mardi Gras with the new Hurricane Smoothie in one hand and the new Cajun Shrimp Wrap or Cajun Shrimp Salad in the other. There's Bold as the Bayou, the new Hurricane Smoothie and Cajun Shrimp Wrap are a match made in Mardi Gras paradise. Make it a combo today. Lunch is coming up. Get your great smoothie and customize it, by the way, with the supplements you want, like protein or fat burner or energizer. If you want to add some good vibes, some nice healthy stuff, almonds, spinach, kale, chia seeds, ginger, whatever you want, Tropical Smoothie Cafe will customize it for you. Oh, and then there's the app where you can order everything on your phone, then skip the line, walk in, grab your smoothie and your wrap off the countertop, earn rewards points. Every once in a while you get a free sandwich. Download it today. It's the Tropical Smoothie Cafe Rewards app. You're on Tropic Time now. Visit tropicalsmoothiecafe.com to find a cafe near you.
Get to Galliana's Van Dyke Dodge and Award for the triple unit Lisa Dodge Challenger Scat Pack for just $355 per month. That's right, Lisa Dodge Challenger Scat Pack for only $355 per month. Galliana's Van Dyke Dodge has Metro Detroit's largest selection of Dodge Challenger in stock and ready to go. This well-equipped 2021 Ram 1500 Bighorn 4x4 for just $189 per month. Comes to our Gallianis Van Dyke Dodge and Ram as Metro Detroit's best selection of Ram trucks. That's right, lease a brand new Ram 1500 Crew Cab 4x4 for only $189 per month. Lease the only 2021 Dodge Durango all-wheel drive for only $257 per month. Brand new Dodge Grand Caravans for only $21,485 while supplies last. Or purchase a brand new Dodge Journey just reduced to $17,939. 0% for up to 84 months. Available for Grand Caravan and Journey. Worried about credit? Forget it. We approve almost everyone. Find your pot of gold at Gallianis Van Dyke Dodge on Van Dyke Avenue, just north of 696 and Warren, or VanDykeDodge.com.
Here's your CVS Health Minute. CVS, healthier made easier. At CVS, we look for savings for you. From coupons and insurance coverage to lower cost options, CVS pharmacists have a proprietary search tool that analyzes ways to help lower your prescription costs. Come in or call today for a free prescription savings review at CVS. You can earn up to $50 in extra bucks each year just for filling prescriptions. CVS, that's healthier made easier.
These days, it's okay to do some things halfway, like wearing your pajama bottoms on a work call. But managing your prescriptions shouldn't be one of them. That's why CVS has a proprietary search tool to find ways that may help lower your prescription costs, and will deliver them for free. No wonder CVS customers are better than most at staying on prescriptions, which tends to make you healthier. Come in or call today and get a free prescription savings review at CVS. Savings vary. Not all patients eligible for savings. Delivery restrictions apply. Visit CVS.com for details.
Piston fans, are you ready for Michigan's premium sportsbook? PointsBet gives you faster bets, faster withdrawals, and rewards. Download the PointsBet app now and sign up with code Michigan2K to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117.
If you're headed to Vegas for March basketball, make sure you check out our favorite spot on the 12th floor at the D in downtown Las Vegas. The 12th floor at the D has giant TVs, great food and drink to enjoy all your favorite games. The D Las Vegas has all the action this March.
This hour of Instant Feedback brought to you by Mike Papura of National Benefit Plans. For affordable life insurance, call 877-734-2200.
This hour's ticket signing bonus keyword is object. Text object to 72881 for your chance at $1,000.
72881 for your chance to win $1,000. It's Carson Anderson here on 97.1 The Ticket. I'm thinking about this Brady contract, this 4-year extension he just signed at the age of 43. He's about to turn 44. He'll play 45, 46, 47, 48. Imagine telling Josh Allen right now, Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills, hey, you're going to play in the NFL for 24 more years. Think about that.
A lot of money was the first thought that comes to mind.
He's 24 now. Imagine telling him, yeah, you got 24 more years left to play.
You're going to make somewhere in the neighborhood between $500 million and $1 billion.
Just crazy.
How do you feel about that? Is that good?
Just crazy.
Your body's going to take just a beating.
Yeah.
But, hey.
24 more years.
6.2 miles. Take exit 14.
248-539-9797. All right, Gator. We'll get to some Lions news coming up today at 11:05. Michigan State, they seem to be firmly in when it comes to the NCAA tournament in spite of yesterday's poor showing. Now, Izzo was all worked up about the technical after the game. And I'm like, look, it didn't help, but I guess they were winning at the time by 6 points, and that 6-point lead became a 2-point lead pretty quickly. But that wasn't the difference in the game. And I was like, does he really mean this, or is he just trying to get everybody to talk about him and leave his kids alone because he's so sick and he's always on social media. He's sick of the criticism and all that comes his way. Beginning of that game yesterday, they look great. I mean, they look great. And the good stuff that's happening is Rocket Watts, there's improvement there. Malik Hall had a bust-out game. But then you have, the enigmas that are some of the veterans that just disappear. At one point, they put Watts on the bench, and Maryland went on like a 10-0 run right around. And it begs the question, what's this team's ceiling? Because you can make a case that they have, I'd have to look at everybody's schedule, they might have had the best 3-game stretch of any team in the country with the Indiana, Illinois, Ohio State stretch. That could be the best 3-game stretch of any team in the country where you beat. Indiana's a 500 team. Well, actually, less than 500 team, but they went into Bloomington and did it. But then you beat 5 and 4 in back-to-back games, which I would argue would be a tougher stretch than their first, second, and third round opponents. But possible they could be if they get in the 8-9 line and come their second round game could be against a 1 seed. But
Looking at ESPN's graphic talent, Michigan State is an 11th seed. The first round matchup would be against Oregon. And then we play the winner of Arkansas and Southern Utah. And then they would play the winner of, looks like it would be Iowa's the number 2 seed.
So do 11s play 5s? 11s play 6. So the second game would be against the 3 seed, which is not as good as the ranked 4 or 5 because the 3 seed is.
And then, look, they at the time after they knocked off Michigan, it was 3 top 5 grades in order to become the head number 1 winner of the top 5. So it's impressive. The problem is the resume isn't. But they should get in. It's just that it's not a very good seed. But you never know which Michigan State team is going to show up, and that's the issue. There's not consistency with what they've been able to do.
And when you talk about ceilings, like that's like you feel like you roll basketball out on a court. Michigan State, depending on who shows up, can play with just about anybody.
Yeah, they don't beat anybody in the country, but can they string 6 games?
Can they string that number together? That's why it's impossible to figure out what this team's ceiling is. They did it in 3 games. The Indiana, Illinois, Ohio State stretch was impressive. Then they lose by 18 in Maryland. Or is the team that lost by 30 Rutgers, or how the team that played yesterday going to show up? Because if that's the case, then they won't go. Unless the team that they play also play and they win, 20-19. But it's amazing the variance of both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, I mean, they sometimes they show up and they look inspired, play pocket lots and slicing it nice his way. You got everybody knocking down outside shots, rebounding, playing great defense, and taking care of the basketball and sharing the basketball. That's Michigan State. That is fine. Then you have what we saw yesterday. They're going to look around and for somebody else to make a shot. There's no ball. It's good. They're tripping the ball over like it's their job. They're committing way too many fouls on both ends. It's just awful. It's a terrible game for them yesterday. They let it get away from them. The coach let it get away from them. And Izzo admitted it as much afterwards. He put the blame on himself, and he should have, because you've got to get your team better there. If things aren't going the way that you want to play, you have to make the adjustment. And you know this, and he knows it. He says, look, I've been doing this 26 years. He knows that he has to be better when it comes to doing it. This guy, he was very immature the way that he reacted yesterday. He's constantly barking at the officials. Once you find out how it's going to go, make the adjustment and play it.
I probably overstated. Watts went 1 for 5 from the floor. He was very good against Michigan 2 games ago. But I still feel like he's looked better than just that one game. Correct me if I'm wrong. Foster Moore going down and just basically being Rocket. Here's the ball. It's your team now. He's looked comfortable in that role. But when that little teardrop and that mid-range jumper is going for him, well, he's tough.
Because you got to respect his ability to drive, and then you have to respect his ability to knock down a 10-foot shot. Yeah, absolutely. When Laurie went down, it wasn't just they were looking for anybody. Holtgard got a bunch of minutes. He still gets some minutes. So I don't think Michigan State is any kind of Cinderella story when it comes to the NCAA tournament. I'm not going to be stunned if they make it to the Sweet 16, but I'm not expecting it.
Okay, earlier this year we were talking about could they make a run and get into the tournament, and we got hammered by texters for even bringing it up, and we said, well, how many times have we said, well, look, here we go with Izzo again. And then they won those 3 games in a row, and now you go, all right, let's talk about it. Can they get on a run? And every time we do, great hostility comes in via ticket text from Spartan fans and others that are just, they can't possibly get on a run. And you go, how many times have we said, here goes Tom Izzo again? Now, I don't expect it. I really don't. But
into the show with Lenny that Maryland only made 4 baskets in the first half. They made 4 field goals in the first half, yet they led 34-30. Wow. Because they were at the free throw line the entire time.
248-539-9797. Phone calls and feedback coming up next hour. We'll get into some Lions buzz created and certainly created by where they are today. That at 11:30. Also, that's the time where you can win chance to win $1,000 with another ticket signing bonus keyword. It's Carson Anderson, 97.1. Hey, add a little excitement to your sports viewing experience by betting on all the action on FanDuel. There's a reason why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Their app is simple to use. They got great odds on all different betting markets, unique fun bet types like same-game parlays, and exclusive always-on promotions, such as enhanced odds boosts on the biggest events to let you get more out of every single game. But right now, FanDuel is letting you place your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Just place a bet on any game, and FanDuel will refund you up to $1,000 back in site credit if you don't win your first bet. Just place that bet, anything you want, NBA, college basketball, tennis, golf, you name it. And if you win, you keep the cash. If you lose, you get your entire bet up to $1,000 back in site credit. If you've never tried FanDuel Sportsbook, what are you waiting for? Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app to get started, and be sure to sign up with the promo code DOUG so they know I sent you. It's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code DOUG. Must be 21 or older and present in Michigan. First online real money wager only. Site credit is not withdrawable and expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help.
Duncan Robinson, one of the NBA's most unlikely success stories, celebrates underdogs from basketball and beyond on his new podcast, The Long Shot. Hear from athletes and others who've proven naysayers wrong. Listen free on radio.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your shows.
This Radio.com Sports Minute is brought to you by United Wholesale Mortgage.
Our #1 concern, but no, it's your #2 concern, Van Gundy said. Your #1 concern is making money, and your #2 concern is while we're making the money, let's keep everyone as safe as we can. Let's just be honest about that. Van Gundy also confirmed what many of us thought about last weekend. The All-Star Game is just an extension of that. It's more money in everybody's pockets, so it's disingenuous to say we're so concerned about safety. Yeah, but nobody got sick and nobody tested positive. Did he forget that? I'm Boomer Esiason.
Hey, frequent heartburn may keep you from running your A game, but it doesn't have to anymore. Join the Prilosec OTC 2-week challenge. Just go to prilosecotc.com. You'll get $3 off to get you started, plus 14 days of tips, tricks, and reminders. Just 2 weeks, 0 heartburn. Go to prilosecotc.com and sign up today. 0 heartburn is possible with Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you live above an untreated crawl space, Michigan's brutal winter means cold floors and high heating bills. The experts at Foundation Systems of Michigan have the solution with their exclusive vapor lock system. By insulating your crawl space, you can reduce your heating bills by up to 25%. Right now, take advantage of the best pricing of the year during the winter savings event. Call the experts at Foundation Systems of Michigan today for your free inspection.
Attention Michigan, do you really want a new car? But your credit's not so good. But you still owe money on your trade. But you can't afford a large down payment. It's time to bring your butt to the Lundy Land Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We'll give you up to 125% of approved. So if you really want a new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram, but your credit's not so good, but you still owe money on your trade, but you still can't afford a large down payment, it's time to bring your butt to Lalandi Land Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram today in beautiful Inlay City, Michigan. Call 810-724-0444 or click LalandiChrysler.com. Next trade for the purchase of select models, trade balance from below. Subject to lender approval. Expires month end.
The only way you can take 97.1 The Ticket with you is the radio.com app. Download it today and listen to us anytime, anywhere. 97.1 The Ticket.
Scott Anderson, 97.1 The Ticket. Gator, spring forwards this weekend?
Yay. Here's the only time I appreciate spring forward. Middle of the summer.
Oh, sure.
Because it's, it stays lighter later. That's right. That's right. Yeah, I do. And I did. I got a boat a couple years ago. Yeah, so I enjoy it. It's also for golf, by the way, so that you can play golf later in the day. So, some courses with the great twilight rates, and there's some great courses out there that you can enjoy at a discounted price. And yeah, it's awesome. I love it then. Not so much in March. Not so much in March.
Yeah, so
just because I'm cranky in March, I think.
A couple things about me and my family. One is we notoriously eat late dinners. We constantly, when the kids, in a normal world, kids got a lot of stuff going on after school. We're running around and we either start cooking late or we're picking something up late. And it's not unusual for me to be firing up the grill late. So it being lighter and warmer later, I am a fan of. And that's one thing about the family. Then the other thing, Gator, about the spring forward is I would say that I play every 5 rounds of golf I play. 4 of them are 12. I play later in the day, and I like playing that time of day for a couple reasons. One, it's typically less crowded, and 2, it's cheaper. And so I'm a twilight golfer. So I guess those are the benefits for us.
Who doesn't like more daylight in the summertime when the weather's nice? I mean, Michigan summers are the best. As much as I complain about Michigan winters, I love Michigan summers. And I think if you just get over the initial, I don't know what to call it, shock or whatever,
price.
Yeah, in the beginning of March, like Gator said. After that, though, it's golden, man. I love it. I mean, when it's 9:30 at night and it's still light out, fantastic. We've had family and friends visit from the West Coast come here in the summer, and they're like, why is it still bright out? You know what I mean? I'm like, this is Michigan summers. It's the best, man. All the stuff you just talked about, Doug.
Where are you with twilight golf?
I do like it, but there's...
Knowing what I know about you, I don't think you're the 7 a.m. golfer.
No, although I'm more open to that nowadays. But not 7th. But I'm more open to golfing at, say, before 9. If someone's got a tee time at 45 or 30, something like that. I'm more open to it now than I ever was. I think it's because of the dawn, because I'm up anyway. But as far as Twilight's concerned, I love Twilight rates when if I'm up north, because when courses are expensive. Nice courses are really expensive, and if you can get a break on it, that's awesome. And for some reason, you said too with Twilight, sometimes there's just nobody out there on the course, and some courses are just like, hey man, it's $40 to play as many holes as you can get in, and great, okay, if there's nobody out there, you can crank through, maybe you can get 30 holes of golf in and have a great time with it. The downside to it, for me, is when that sun starts to go down. If there's no cloud cover, it is a killer to look into sometimes. But you put up with it. Even with sunglasses, it can be difficult. You're having a hard time tracking where your ball is going. But typically you don't care because you're playing a course and it's beautiful out. So I have no problem.
Here's the other thing this year. It's just unique, and it's probably just unique to me. And I don't know if it's because of the pandemic or maybe I've crossed some threshold. I swear I never adapted to the fall back. Like I'll wake up at ridiculously early times in the morning, and that never changed from when we fell back all the way up through till now. Like I feel like I'm already prepared for spring forward, and just because I never adjusted to the winter hours.
Yeah, well, the fall back to me, it's one of those things that always sounds great in theory and never pays off.
You never get that extra
Get an extra hour of sleep. It's just because you end up staying up later the night before or whatever, and it just doesn't work out that way. I don't know. I'm all for the whole purpose, which is having more sunlight in the summer months, because as King pointed out, summer in Michigan is unbeatable. I'll take it over just about anywhere in this country.
This is from the Twitch stream. None special here now. I love Twilight Golf. From Gregorgi. I don't even know what that is. Twilight. Why don't people just name their name? From Steven. Twilight at Arcadia Bluffs is basically having bagpipes as you make the turn, and you can play for under $100 around there. You talk about, I've never played Arcadia. You have. But have you ever played at Twilight?
Well, typically the rate we get is a Twilight rate, and when we finish up, we're always finishing up as the sun is going down. So it's I experience it every time almost.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. It's amazing. I mean, the place it's just a fantastic golf course, a fantastic setting for a golf course. And yeah, the bagpipes, the whole bit, the sun going down, Lake Michigan in the distance. It's amazing.
Yeah, look, I mean, so Sunday's going to suck, right? For people that really hate losing out on the hour. Yeah, sure, it's going to suck. Think of the upside. Think of the upside. What it means is coming. And hopefully things will be a little bit better, a little bit more open, a little bit more fun. Get out there with some of the things that we were able to do last year, like boating and golfing, and a lot of the outdoor activities were still open and safe. So,
yeah, for all the bitching people did about the golf courses and not being open, and they were open and they were closed down because of the sightings of people not socially distancing and the ridiculousness of the touching the flag stick and all this. Golf courses did just fine last year. In fact, they did better than fine. They saw more business last year than they'd ever seen before, because people were at home and they had time to go off to the golf course. They were working remotely from home, and they were in a meeting out on the 12th hole over at Tangle or whatever. So but yes, golf did fine. Boating did just fine last year as well. I know that people that at the marinas that did a nice business last year. We'll see how it goes this year. I imagine it's not going to be terribly different.
Well, and I'll tell you what, skiing did great. There was a lot, those ski hills there were times where we were trying to get lift tickets and they were sold out. So, some of these outdoor, like I said, outdoor activities in Michigan did pretty well. I think tourism kind of held it together through this, because I think people less likely to get on planes, and so people in Michigan and Ohio and Indiana took advantage of what we have to offer.
That other city,
Chicago?
City that blows.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha. 248-539-9797. Okay, so we mentioned earlier that Cam Newton close to re-signing with the Patriots, and does it impact us in any way? Well, the idea is, does it take a sense of urgency out of New England to trade come draft day for a quarterback, given the fact that they will have Cam Newton? It's a one-year deal, so if they want a young quarterback, they still are compelled to go get him. It's only a question of, are they slightly less compelled to go get him, or will they sit and let the draft play out for them? But there is a quarterback working out today. The Lions are there. We'll get to that at 11:30. Got to talk about the moves to clear cap space yesterday. Another couple free agents suggested as being perfect for Detroit. We will get to those today at 11:05. Don't forget, Piston tickets, game against Atlanta on April 26th with the Carson Anderson quiz question coming up today at 1:40. Carson Anderson here on 97.1 The Ticket.
MichiganLottery.com, the one place you'll find exclusive importance of saving for the unexpected. And as a bank, our job is to make that a little easier for everyone. That's why at Huntington, we're so proud to introduce Money Scout. It analyzes your checking account to find money that's not being used and moves it to your savings automatically. It's that simple, so you can always be saving, even now. Learn more and enroll at huntington.com/moneyscout. Huntington. Welcome. Money Scout is subject to eligibility, terms and conditions, and other account agreements. Member FDIC.
Last night's sleep? Interrupted by pain? Tonight, silence it. With new ZQL Night Pain. Restful sleep, now with powerful pain relief. ZQL Night Pain combines America's #1 sleep aid with a maximum strength pain reliever. So you can fall asleep fast and wake feeling rested, because pain should never get in the way of a great night's sleep. New ZQL Night Pain. Silence pain. Sleep soundly. Available at retailers near you.
Switch to T-Mobile for Business and get up to 90 days of service free via virtual rebate on your business plan. You get a great deal, the largest 5G network, and first-class benefits like Microsoft 365 on us. It's better for business and only with T-Mobile for Business. Limited time offer. Stop in store for details. Plus taxes and fees for some plans. Virtual Express MasterCard within 8 weeks of receipt of valid submission. Complete port within 60 days. See T-Mobile.com for 5G devices, coverage, and plan details.
Hello, Detroit. Crazy times make for crazy good deals. Get WOW Superfast Internet 100 for the crazy low price of $29.99 per month. And get a free modem for 6 months. Offer details at wowway.com.
Wow. Breaking news on 97.1 The Ticket, powered by Radio.com Sports and presented by BetQL. Become a better sports bettor. Get smarter to beat the books. Download the BetQL app or visit BetQL.com today.
You could win the ticket signing bonus. $1,000 11 times each weekday. Powered by BetQL. Let BetQL's proven data and analytics help you become a better. Download the BetQL app today. Listen for the keyword at 1/2 each hour between 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. Text that keyword to 72881 before the end of that hour. Message and data rates apply, and you could win a $1,000 signing bonus on 97.1 The Ticket.
We don't want you on our team. You're too slow and fat.
This is weight bias.
I'm worried about your weight.
Don't you care what other people think?
Millions who live and are affected by obesity face weight bias every day.
You're not the right fit for this job.
Unfair judgment by others.
Just stop eating so much and exercise some. You lose all this weight.
These people often blame themselves.
It's just me. Nobody likes me. I do exercise and eat right. And I talk to my doctor.
Weight bias hurts.
Everyone deserves to be treated with dignity and respect.
Your words and actions matter.
Let's stop weight bias.
Let's work together.
Be part of the solution. Go to stopweightbias.com and learn more. A public service message from Obesity Action Coalition.
Home is meant to be our safe place, but heart attacks and strokes don't stay home. Don't avoid the ER out of anxiety. Don't die of doubt. Don't stay silent, and don't stay home. If you have an emergency, call 911 immediately. When seconds count, the hospital is the safest place to be. Visit heart.org/don't die of doubt. Brought to you by the American Heart Association.
Hey everyone, this is Sarah from Fantagram, and I am here speaking out about mental illness and the seriousness of this disease in hopes that we can overcome the stigma surrounding it. Last year, my sister committed suicide after her lifelong battle with depression and anxiety. There has been a stigma in our culture surrounding mental illness and suicide. This stigma can lead to discrimination and negative stereotyping, which makes it harder for the ones who are suffering to reach out. But it's okay to not feel okay, and it's okay to get help. We can all help by listening to people around us, encouraging friends and family who are struggling to talk to either us or professional counselors. We all need to help instill courage in others facing these challenges, and I'm listening.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. sports station. Sports headlines all day, every day. From the Sold by Mark Z Sports Desk, this is 97.1 The Ticket.
Michigan's quest to earn a number one seed in next week's NCAA tournament continues today as the Wolverines battle Maryland in a quarterfinal round game of the Big Ten tournament. No one expected the type of success that Michigan has enjoyed to this point of the season, which head coach Juwan Howard attributes to the culture he's brought into the Wolverines program.
Well, we have a culture built on enjoying each other's success, and so all that you're seeing right now is because of the culture that myself and the staff have instilled and our guys have bought in.
That contest will tip off at 11:30. A positive test within the Virginia program today has forced ACC officials to cancel tonight's semifinal ACC tournament game between the Cavaliers and Georgia Tech. There's a chance this story is not over yet because the player who tested positive, according to CBS Sports, played for Virginia in yesterday's quarterfinal game against Syracuse. Head coach Dan Campbell will be part of the Lions contingent that will watch quarterback Trey Lance's pro day today at North Dakota State. Most mock drafts have Lance as one of 4 signal callers that will be taken within the first 6 picks of this year's NFL draft. According to stories today out of Tampa, Tom Brady has agreed to a contract extension with the Super Bowl champion Buccaneers that will keep him in Tampa through the 2022 season. That new deal also gives Tampa some much-needed relief under the salary cap. Officials with Major League Baseball confirm in a recent release that they'll experiment with a series of rules changes at various levels of minor league baseball this season. Changes that include the use of an automated strike zone in the Single-A Southeast League and restrictions on defensive positioning in Double-A, a move that's seen as the first step towards eventually eliminating the shift in Major League Baseball. From the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Tony Ortiz. For more, stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and radio.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, Karsh and Anderson on 97.1 The Ticket.
All right, Doug Karsh in the studio. Gator from the home studio, 248-539-9797. You can stream on Twitch and see us, twitch.tv. Search up 971 The Ticket. There's a stream chat there as well. And you can stream it through the radio.com app. You can take the show anywhere with you on your mobile device. And you can stream it to our website, 971theticket.com. By the way, Gator, I had to leave the show yesterday at a prior commitment, but the topic right before I left, we were talking about your food preferences or your unique food takes, where you're the only one that does this. Like Tom Brady cuts the ends off the banana and doesn't eat them. Or it was controversial when the New York Times said California bagels are better than New York bagels, really pissing off New Yorkers.
Hilarious, yeah.
I was once at a Vegas steakhouse, and I want you guys to help me with this, because as you know, I'm not a red meat eater. And we were at a place, and everybody was getting the Kobe beef, and one girl wanted it well done. And...
Are you serious?
Yeah. And everybody freaked out.
How did they freak out?
Well, look, if you're going to spend, $150 on a steak or whatever it is for Kobe beef, have it however you want to have it. I know that people say you can't. The reason it's so special is it's the marbling in there, and it's just a very special steak, and you want to taste it. So the best way to experience that is at medium rare or at worst medium. How dare people? Look, you're spending the money. It's your money. Do what you want. I don't care.